I never thought that I'd be able to journal consistently for any duration of time. It was just too much work, yet fast forward to today, I've been journaling every day for over a year. For a very long time, I used to think that journaling is a very time-consuming practice and it is only for introverts and emotional people. But even then, I tried journaling a few times after watching YouTube videos or reading about its benefit, but I was never able to stick with it. The reason I've been able to stick with journaling this time around was because of a few key insights that I found. And thanks to those insights, I've been able to journal every single day for over a year. And the most amazing thing is that it actually works. It has helped me manage my stress, it has made me more productive, and I'm able to think clearly now. On top of that, it has also improved my mental health a lot. So in this video, we are going to be answering all of those questions, starting with why you should journal and how journaling can genuinely change your life. This is not some clickbait title, this genuinely will change your life if you put it into practice. Secondly, we'll go over some key journaling methods that are evidence-based, tried and tested, and super powerful that I have used personally over the years as well. And thirdly, we'll go over how to be consistent with it, how to build it into your routine, to take action on wanting to journal and make this a reality for yourself. So without further ado, let's dive into the video. If you're new here, my name is Suraj, and on this channel I share tips, tools and strategies to build a deeper and more fulfilling life. So if that sounds interesting, consider subscribing. Let's begin. So why should you journal? The very first reason is that journaling allows you to record your life. When you have journaled for some time, your journal becomes kind of a documentation of your life. And it feels really nice to look back at yourself, to see what you were thinking, what you were dealing with, all the things that were bothering you, or all the things that you wanted to make progress on. For example, if I pick any date in the last year, I'll be able to remember exactly what I was doing, who I was with, what I was thinking, and everything in between. And I often think a few decades later, when I'll be old, it will be fun to look back on my memory. It will be nice to see all the things that I've done, all the people that I've spent time with. So basically, journaling allows you to keep a record of your life, which I think is really nice. The second reason to journal is that it helps you to think clearly. Whenever there's a drastic change in our lives, or whenever we are overwhelmed, which to be honest is very common these days because there's always so many things going on at the same time, journaling helps you think clearly. So for example, I recently moved to a new country, and after I moved, I had a lot of things going on. I had my university, so I had assignments, I had this YouTube channel, I had my weekly newsletter, I had to adapt to this place, and basically I had a lot of things going on. And since I was journaling, I was able to write everything down. In my head, there was just so many things going on at the same time, I didn't even know what to do. I was just overwhelmed. But after writing everything down, I was able to see on paper all the things that were there and all the things that I needed to do. And that helped me settle down, that helped me calm down and manage my stress. So basically, journaling helps you think clearly, which is super essential in this day and age. The third reason to journal is that journaling helps you to reflect. Every day we deal with a bunch of emotions, and journaling in a lot of ways provides you a way to look back on those emotions, to reflect, to ask yourself, did I react to it the right way? What did I do right today? How could I have made today better? Even though this might sound insignificant at first, once you continue to journal for some time, you'll be able to see positive changes in your life, because you are constantly reminded of the things you value, of the ways you want to react to things. And you also be able to value your time properly because you are reflecting on the things that you're doing, right? You're reflecting on your emotions, you're reflecting on your time, on your values, on the decisions that you made. And this ultimately, in the long term, helps you become a better person. It helps you make progress towards the things that you actually value and the things that you want to achieve. The fourth reason you should journal is because it helps you store ideas. Remember how at some random times during the day, you get some idea? It could be a business idea, an idea for something that you're working on, perhaps a problem that you're trying to solve. And you think about it for some time, you don't really write it down anywhere. You think about it sometime, and after some time, you just forget, right? That happens to me a lot. And journaling helps me note all of those ideas down. It helps me store those ideas. And that for me is very, very important. And I'm sure that it will be useful for you as well. Before we get into part 2 of this video, let's talk about whether you should use a physical journal or a digital journal. I think there's just one thing that you have to consider. What do you value more? Do you value the touch of pen and paper more, or do you value searchability more? For me, I prefer digital journal more. And the reason is that a digital journal is always on me. Regardless of where I go, I always have my phone on me, right? And because of this, regardless of where I am, whenever I get an idea or if there's something that I want to note down, I'll be able to note it down on my phone, right? And in the long term, if I use a physical journal, I'll have a stack of notebooks. I'll have a stack of journals with me, and I won't be able to carry it everywhere. But on the other hand, if I have a digital journal, I'll be able to carry it with me everywhere that I go. Another important feature is the searchability. With a digital journal, I'll be able to look for anything that I want within seconds, right? But that might not be the case with a physical journal. Because if I'm storing something down, if I'm writing an idea down, I'll want to be able to access it whenever I need. Anyway, there's one thing that you must remember. There's no wrong or right way of journaling. You can either use digital journals like I do, or you can use physical journal, actual diaries. It's all a personal preference. See what you like and stick with it. Okay, now let's talk about a few key journaling methods. Number 1 is brain dump. So what you do in brain dump journaling is literally that. You take your physical or digital journal and you just write. And after you have written for like 2 or 3 pages, you'll be able to identify patterns. And those patterns will help you understand what's actually going on, what is bothering you, and much more. Brain dumping is super useful, especially when you are overwhelmed or if you're looking for ideas. The second journaling method is gratitude journaling. A lot of research has shown that it can help improve your sleep, it can help reduce your blood pressure, and just a lot of crazy stuff, right? And on top of that, you are just happier because you're grateful for things, as I have been for a long time. And the third journaling method is something called the Storyworthy journaling. This comes from the book Storyworthy by Matthew Dix. And the idea here is that you write about some storyworthy moments from your days or weeks. And this is actually useful because over time you build a catalog of your most interesting memories. And then looking back at those memories is like really nice. The fourth journaling method is goal setting journaling. So what you do in this method is you keep track of all the goals that you have. Where do I want to be in 5 years? Where do I want to be in 1 year? Where do I want to be in 1 month? Then you list down all the things that you will need to do in order to achieve all of these goals. This gives you a vision to work towards, and it also serves as a constant reminder of your goals. And because of that, you are able to get less distracted by short-term pleasures. The fifth journaling method is something called the weekly review. This is something that I recently started. In this journaling method, what you do is every week you sit down with your journal and you reflect on how the last week has gone. What did I do right? When did I fall behind? What are the things I could have done better at? Then you also write down what you want to do next week. What are the weekly goals that you want to accomplish? How are you going to overcome the obstacles that you faced last week? And so on. This is perfect if you're someone who has a very tight schedule because it takes very few minutes each week. And now the sixth and the final journaling method, which is bullet journaling. This one is my favorite because it allows me to combine a lot of different journaling methods into one. In bullet journaling, what you do is you have a few headings, and under those headings you write a few bullet points. That is how you journal. There are different versions of bullet journals available, and how I use it is quite different. So if you want, you can take inspiration from mine as well, right? My bullet journal has 3 parts, namely morning, day, and reflections. In the mornings, I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. And I try to keep it very limited. So for example, it could be I'm grateful for this phone that I'm shooting this video on, or maybe I'm grateful for this iPad cover that I use, which is really beautiful, or maybe about this water bottle that I use, which is really nice as well, right? So I try to keep it specific, not like I'm grateful for my family, which I am of course, but being specific and writing down about small things that I'm grateful for, it's a lot helpful, I think. And after I have written down about the 3 things that I'm grateful for, I write down what would make today great. And I have 3 checklists for that, right? So basically, if I accomplish these 3 things today would be great, right? It would be really productive. And after I've written that, I go to daily affirmations and I write down 3 daily affirmations. Initially, I was not a believer of that. I used to think it's just cliche, people just write and it's like stupid. That is what I used to think. I used to think it was stupid, right? But after I started trying this out, it has been really helpful. It serves as a constant reminder of the type of person that I am, or basically the type of person that I want to be, right? And when I remind myself of these things, of my daily affirmations, I act that way, right? So it has worked so far. And after I've written down my daily affirmations, I write down morning pages. And in morning pages, I simply write about all the things that is on my head. So this could be like some useful thing or something just random. Anything that's on my head goes in morning pages. I do not write morning pages every morning because I don't always have something on my head, right? So anyway, once that is done, the morning part is over. So after the morning part is over with morning pages, I go on to the day part, right? And in the day part, in the beginning, I have like to-do list, right? So which is basically like the things that I have to do today. So I always have something related to YouTube there. And then I write something about assignments, or basically like whatever I need to do accomplish today goes into to-do list, right? And after to-do list is done, I write down daily notes. And daily notes is for all the story-worthy moments that happen during the day. And even if a day is very plain and simple, I try to find something interesting from the day. And I write it down here, right? And that is the day part, the part 2. And the part 3 of my bullet journaling technique is reflection. In reflection, I have 2 subheadings. The first one is 3 amazing things that happened today. Even if the day is plain and simple, I try to find something interesting that happened. It does not have to be like super grand or great. It can be like simple things, but basically like interesting things that happened, something that I'm happy about, right? And then I write down 2 things by which I could have made today better. And this is like very important because it helps me reflect on things, right? So for example, a few days back, I was at the subway station. I was standing and waiting for the train, and there was a classmate standing nearby me. I looked at him, but then I got back to using my phone, right? And on that day I wrote like, I could have made today better by talking to that person instead of using my phone. So it's like simple things like these, when you notice, you begin to like basically implement it subconsciously, and this basically like in the long term helps you become a lot better, right? So those are the parts of my bullet journaling method. And now let's talk about how do you actually stay consistent with journaling. The first tip to stay consistent with journaling is don't set the bar too high. When you're starting out, keep it simple. Start with something that can be done in under 5 minutes every day. In fact, I'll drop a link to the 5-minute journaling template that I found really effective. This is a template that I got from Tim Ferriss, the author of 4-Hour Workweek. And in fact, my current bullet journaling template is based on this 5-minute template, so link in the description. The second tip to stay consistent with journaling is to realize that there is no wrong or right way of journaling. Everything here is a personal preference. So try out a few things, see what you like and stick with that. There's no wrong or right way, you can do anything you want. So understand that you have that freedom and do not feel obligated to use a certain technique. Just try whatever you like and stick with whatever you like, right? Everything is a personal preference. The third tip to stay consistent with journaling is to use a timer. So every day what you can do is you can start a timer for 5 minutes, and during those 5 minutes you do nothing else. You just give yourself the space and the freedom to journal. And at the end of those 5 minutes, you'll be surprised at how much progress you make. So you can use a timer and it is really helpful. The fourth consistency tip is to not worry about your streak. Look, life happens to everybody. There's always something that happens. And if you are hard on yourself, you'll be like, oh, I was not able to stay consistent, so I'll not do it at all, right? You can always catch up. So if you are unable to journal yesterday, you can do it today, right? And I have done that personally myself. There are days when there's a lot of things going on and I don't have the mental bandwidth to journal even for 5 minutes. On those days, I let myself be. I give myself the space that I need. And the next day I catch up. I write down about yesterday, everything that I was thinking yesterday, or everything that I wanted to do yesterday, or the things that I should have done, right? So basically, like, give yourself the freedom to catch up. Don't be super hard on yourself. Don't care about your streak. Tip number 5 to stay consistent with journaling is to habit stack. You can add it into your routine, and because of that, you will ensure that you get it done, right? So for example, every morning I journal when I'm in the bathroom. I know it's funny, but it is really effective. When I'm in the bathroom in the morning, I have my phone with me, so I basically do my morning journaling. That's like really, really effective. And similarly in the evenings, when I go to the bed, I have my phone, and before I go to sleep, I just write down a few things. And this makes it like super easy to do, right? Similarly, you can plug in journaling in your own routine. You can do it before or after a certain habit that you do every day. And the final tip to stay consistent is to reduce friction. I have talked about this concept in a lot of previous videos, so I'll keep it simple this time, right? What I mean by reducing friction is that you need to reduce the number of steps that you need to take in order to do a certain thing. So for example, when you're starting out, and if you're a digital journal kind of guy, don't worry about anything at all. Just take your notes app and write a few things down. This will be the easiest, right? This is where you start, and later on, if you want, you can add more things. Similarly, if you are someone who likes journaling on a diary or a physical journal, what you can do is like, don't worry about making it pretty. Don't worry about lines or anything. Just take a pen, take your journal, and just write things down. Do not add any friction at all. And because of that, you'll be able to journal a lot more consistently, because it will be really easy for you to do. The link to download the 5-minute journaling template that I talked about is down in the description. You can download it from there. Similarly, if there's a subject or skill that you find really difficult but you want to master, watch this video up next. In that video, I talk about how you can tactfully start, improve, and master difficult things. So I'll see you in that one. Take care. Bye-bye.